does it go there? We're going to try that.
Yeah.
I already stopped the milk. We tried different milk, almond milk, coconut milk. There's also the rice milk.
Yeah.
We'll try the rice milk.
You try those.
Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can make it.
चलो भाई रेडी गुड तो ये बीच में रहेगा आप कहाँ तो मुख तो दिखाई नहीं देगा यार बीच में ये क्या है
सुनता जाओ ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोर् श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जन्माद्यस्य तन्मयादितरतः चार्थे सुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदयादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 19, beginning from text number 1. And Sukadeva Goswami is continuing to explain Jambudvip and its 9 verses. So now he is going to describe here Kim Purusha Varsha. Yesterday we read about the Uttar Kuru Varsha. So Kim Purusha Varsha, he says Kim Purusha Varshe Bhagavantam Adi Purusham Lakshmanagrajam Sitabhiramam Ramam Tacharana Sannikarshabhirataha Parama Bhagavato Hanumanasaha Kim Purushaira Avirata Bhakti Rupasate. So in Kim Purush Varsha, Lord is present. He is the Adi Purusha, the elder brother of Lakshmana, and the life of Sita Devi, and he is called Ram. Sita Bhiranam Ramam. So his feet are worshipped by Hanuman, who is supreme devotee, Param Bhagavato Hanuman, along with the residents of Kimpurusha. Kimpurusha is Avirata Bhaktir Upasate. And he worships the Lord without any break. There are some people who do some worship on particular period, like Niyam Seva. So they will come to Radha Kund, and for 1 month they are engaged in intense devotion. 64 rounds and parikrama and chanting inside Radha Kund. And then after Niyam Seva is over, then go back home and eat your rice dal. So Hanuman is not doing that kind of Niyam Seva. He is doing Niyam Seva, this Niyam which does not come to an end. So that is called Niyamita Seva. Regular, Avirat, non-stop. So he is worshipping the Lord with that. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he comments, he gives first the gist in one verse. Ramaha kim purushe narayana sevyascha bharate sarvato bharata shreshtham unavinse nirupyate. He says that Lord Ramchandra is the presiding deity in the Kim Purusha Varsha, and in Bharat Varsha, which will be the next one, is Lord Narayana. And then it will be described that of all these Varsas, Bharat Varsha is the best. So hold on to your seat for that. So now this is the Kim Purusha Varsha. Kim Purusha means what kind of a man? Because when you look at Hanuman, he is not actually a monkey, although we call him as Vanara, but he is some kind of a man, not a monkey. I think these monkeys. Because Kim Purusha, Kim means what? Purusha means person or man. Says what? He looks like a human being, but also he has a tail. So he is like a human being with a tail and little bit of funny face. So when you look at him, it's called what? What kind of man is he? So that's what Kim Purusha means. And that is the meaning of the word Vanara. Nara means human being. Nara Nari. And Va means or. Say, is he a Nara or a Vanara? That is what Vanara means. Similarly, we have Kinnara. Kim Nara. What kind of a Nara is this? So Kim Nara, Kim Purusha, Vanara, they all signify that they are some species of human beings. Some resemblance to human beings, but not exactly human beings. Maybe superhuman beings, alien human beings. So this is what Kim Purusha means. The real human beings are in Bharatvarsha. That's where you find actual human beings. Everywhere else, some other variety there. So that's why he will say that Bharatvarsha is the best. So he says that Bhartureva Bhagavata Katham. This is actually, there's no commentary on this. Says Arshtis Sedena Saha Gandharvairanugiyyamanam Param Kalyanim Bhartri Bhagavat Katham samupsunoti swayam cha idam gayati. Says Hanuman, he is singing, he is actually listening to the stories of Lord Ramchandra, Bhagavad Katham samupsunoti, along with Ashtishrena and the other Gandharvas who are singing. Gandharvas are those who have very beautiful voice. They are very good in singing. And Apsaras are very good for dancing. So some people can sing very nicely and some can dance very nicely. And Hanuman is listening to that. So that is what he is doing. And then he is also singing something which comes here, the below. Hanuman is also listening and he also chants the following mantra. Bhartureva Bhagavataha Kathamiti Anena Naradadiriva Navatarantar Kathayam Anurajyati Vidyot. So when it is said that Bhartur Bhagavat Katham Upshnoti, that he is listening to the Katha of his master, Vishnu Chakrita says that this signifies that he is not interested in listening to anybody else's Katha. He says like Narada, he can listen to Lord Ram's Katha, Lord Krishna's Katha, also Radhe, he can listen to everybody's Katha. But Hanuman, he is interested only Lord Ram, and other than Lord Ram, he does not want to listen to anything else. So therefore he says that he has no interest in any other avatar. He is allergic to everything else. He sends only Ram. In Brihad Bhagavatam there is a story that when Narada was going from one devotee to another devotee, then he finally comes to Hanuman in Kimpurus Varsha and praises him as a great devotee and jumps up and down. And Hanuman also jumps and they both are embracing each other in the air. And then he starts glorifying Hanuman, Narada. And Narada, Hanuman after some time says, what are you saying that I am a devotee? He says, if you want to see devotee, go and see the Pandavas. They are the devotee, and I am also fortunate that I was able to sit on the flag of Arjuna and Bhima is my brother. So that's my good fortune. And Lord is now manifest in Dwarka. So Narada said that, okay, then let's go. You also come. So Hanuman stands up, but then he says, no. He goes up to the gate and then he tells him, this is the gate. You can leave, I'm not coming. So he does not want to go. So that is Hanuman. So Sanatana Goswami has taken this from here. Because non-stop he is listening to the Katha. And if he goes, then he cannot listen non-stop. So there is sloka, it says, Yatra ta yatra Raghunath Kirtanam Tatra tatra krit Mastakanjalim Baspa bari paripurna netram Marutim namta rakshakanta. So wherever there is the story of Hanuman, Lord Ram, and Hanuman is always present there. So therefore in India, whenever they do this Ram Katha, they always invite Hanuman. It says, Katha Arambha hot hai, aao veer Hanuman. That now we are going to start Ram Katha, please come and take your seat. They always make a seat for Hanuman. And therefore, whenever there is a Ram Katha, nobody is allowed to smoke or any of these things because Hanuman gets very upset with that. So they specifically announce it that please don't smoke here because Hanuman is sitting. So this is a belief still that Hanuman is always listening. And Tulsidas, he was here on earth who wrote Ramcharitmanas, he wanted to have darshan of Hanuman, but he could not. So when he was told that Hanuman is coming, there is katha going on, he used to recite and said every day Hanuman is coming to listen, and he should ask his blessing when he can have darshan of Lord Ram. So Hanuman used to come in the garb of an old man, and Tulsidas recognized him. So then Hanuman blessed him that he will have darshan of Lord Ram. But Tulsidas was not able to recognize. And then Hanuman spoke up that Tulsi was putting tilak to somebody, and he says, tilak kare Raghuvir. I forget the whole sloka. He says, we are doing tilak, that is the Ram. So then also Tulsidas was able to see. So now the mantra, he says, Om Namo Bhagavate Uttam Shlokaya Nama Arya Lakshana Shila Vrataya Nama Apshikshitatmane Upashita Lokaya Namaha Sadhuvada Nikashanaya Namo Brahmanya Devaya Mahapurushaya Maharajaya Namayati. So all glories to the Lord, obeisances to the Supreme Lord, who is Uttam Sloka, or who is glorified in the best verses. Nama Arya Lakshana Srila Vrataya, and who is of good character, well behaved. Lord Ramchandra was very humble and very docile, well mannered, and true to his word. And Upshikshitatmane, and he will take education from others. He was not proud that he has to be worshipped, he is king, nothing like that. And Upashita Lokaya, and he was always careful not to hurt anybody and always trying to please others. So this was his nature. And Nama Sadhu Vada Nikashanaya, he was the litmus test for the saintly qualities. What is a good quality? That was known by his behavior. And Namo Brahmanya Deva, he was especially very devoted to the Brahmanas. Mahapurushaya Maharajaya, he is a great person and the great king. So he says that Aryani Sarvai Sirodharyani Lakshnani. So he has all the good qualities which we should put on our head. And he also has symptoms of great personality, that is also meaning of Arya Lakshan, such as Charanatal Gata Dhwaja Vajradini, that mark of flag and thunderbolt on his feet. Ajanu Bahutvadinicha, and he had arms which went up to the knees. So the symptom of a Mahapurusha is that when he stands, then his hands come up to the knees. Normal person's hands are above the knees. And those who are below normal, their hands are only up to the hips. Some people you have seen, their hands are very small. So Mahapurusha means the hands come up to the knees. Mahaprabhu also was like that. So many great personalities in India, they have been described like this. Long arm. So he says that he has Ajanu, Bahutvadini, Shilani, Dhirod, Dattadini, and his behavior is like a Dhirod Datta. There are 4 types of heroes. Dhirod Datta, right? So he is called Dhir Lalit, Dhirashant.
Yudhishthir.
So he comes in the quality of Dhirodatta. Means he is very patient and very noble in character. So these are the 4 types of heroes described in the Shastra and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu also. So heroes, then they have special characteristics, how they behave. So Lord Krishna, he has all 4 in him. Sometimes he is Dhirodatta, sometimes he is Dhir Prashanta, sometimes he is Dhir Lalita, and Dhirodhatta. Udhatta means proud, rowdy. Like Bhima is considered as an example of Dhirodhatta. So his behavior is called here as Dhirodatta. And Vratani Dharmanishtatvadini. Vrata or vows is that he is very much fixed in following the principles of Dharma. Yasya Tasmai, so we pay our obeisances to him. Upashikshitatmane Guru Brahmanadi Shiksha Grahine. So he took education from his teachers, from the Brahmanas. And upasit lokaiti swasya brahmadi upashyatve api maya swacharnena rajak pariyantati loka prasadam. So he is called upashita loka. Loka, that worshipable. He says, although he is the worshipable of people like Brahma, yet his vow was that he wanted to please everybody, even up to a dhobi, washerman. Because when washerman made a remark about his character, so then he, what will we say, rejected his own wife, queen, and sent him to forest. So this was his character, that he did not want to behave in a way that people point finger at him, although they still point. Because now they say that how can he do that to his wife? So then only one dhobi was saying it, one washerman. Now many people raise finger. How could he actually expel his wife who was pregnant and so devoted to him? So that is because he was Raja. Raja means king, but it also means Ranjanath, Praja Ranjanath Raja, one who keeps his subjects happy. That is the meaning of Raja or king. So king means one who keeps his subjects happy. So that's what he did. Because he knew that Sita loves him so much that she will not mind. She will not become upset. Because love is like that. Asilasya va padaratam tanashtumam bharvatam karotu. Whether you embrace me or trample me under your feet, you are my Lord. So that's what Sita was. So Lord Ramchandra had this much confidence in Sita, that's why he did it. Otherwise he will not do that. So to please the dhobi, the washerman, he sent away Sita, knowing that Sita will not be absent. So therefore he did the right thing. So this is what people don't understand. Because they cannot understand the mind of Sita, they think like themselves, that if I was there I will become so mad. How can I do like this? But we are not talking about you, we are talking about Sita. So if you don't understand who is Sita, that is your problem. Don't point finger at Ram. You may be pointing finger at Ram by taking side of Sita, but you are offending Sita by doing that. The Sita herself will become upset. If you point finger at Ram although you are thinking you are favoring Sita. Then you have to understand the mood of Sita. She was, as it is said, that wife is the better half. So how can one half become upset with the other half? It's not possible. It's impossible, right? How can your one hand become upset with another hand? Is it possible that your one hand wants to kick the other hand? Says, you nonsense. Try. No, I'm trying to make you understand what it means to be Sita. Because people don't understand, therefore they try to criticize Lord Ram. So that's where he says that Rajak Paryantat Api Loka Prasadaniya, that he is one that he will please even a washerman, not to speak of Brahmanas or learned people. So being a king is not an easy job, trying to please so many people. Iti vicharvatvat lokanam tada upasitatvam. So because he has such thought, therefore people were his worshipable. Sadhuvadanam brahmanyatva satyasandhatva kripalutvadinam nikashanaya paramotkarshana prapakaya lokahi sadhuvadir utkrishyante. So, Ramam prapya sadhuvada api atkrishta bhavanti. So, sadhuvada means those which are called good qualities, such as truthfulness, surrender or service to the Brahmanas, compassion. So, he says that he is the test of these qualities. Test means that these qualities, they become supreme in him. That Paramotkarsh Prapkaya, he brought these qualities to their extreme. There are people who are truthful, but once in a while they tell lies. But in him, the truth attained its supreme position. That although his father did not ask him to go to the forest for 12 years, but he knew that his father has given a word to his stepmother, and father is not going to ask him, because stepmother said Ram should go to the forest for 12 years. So just to keep the word of his father, he went, although he was not asked. He could have refused. He says, why shall I go? Today somebody will say, he says, hell with it. Like I was in somebody's house, when father asked his son, we were sitting on the table, that can you get a glass of water? And the son said, why don't you get up yourself? So how can such a son understand who is Ram? Because Ram will look stupid to him, that why he was going to be installed as the king next day, and then he removes all his royal dress, puts on some bark of the tree and goes to the forest. So he said, this is crazy. So which son will do like this? And although if his father had verbally asked him, that's at least understandable, but nobody asked him. So this is the height of truthfulness. That trying to protect not his own word, but even word of his own father. So that's why I say that the qualities attain supreme position in him. So loka hi sadhu vadair utkrishyante. So that people become supreme by this quality. Ramam prapya sadhu vada api utkrishta bhavanti. He says by attaining these qualities, people, he is actually making a very nice point. He says people are glorified when they have good qualities. Loka hi sadhu vadair utkrishyante. He says in his case it was other way around. So the qualities became glorious by being in him. That is the meaning of sadhana. It's like it is said about Krishna that that you put on ornaments to look beautiful. In case of Krishna, ornaments look beautiful on him. He was so beautiful when he wore ornament. The ornament looked, wow, this looks very nice. So that is says that the qualities, they become supreme in him. Yatha parmot, then he gives a very nice example for that. Yatha parmot krishtasya api kankasya niksham prapya sevut karsho loke pramani bhavati. So nikas means the test, and nikas is actually means, it is a piece of stone which was used for testing gold in the olden days. So what you do, you take the gold ornament and you rub it on that. So he said, just as when you rub it, it shines. So that is called nikasha. So he is here called sadhuvada nikasha, that he is like the stone for the sadhuvada, for the quality. That when quality is put on him, it shines. It's like the gold shines when it is rubbed on the testing stone. So that is meaning. He says, then you know that this gold is nice. So in his case, then you know that this quality is good because it is shining in Ram. Not that Ram is good because he is having a quality like this. This quality is good because it shines in him. So that is sadhuvana nikshana. So then there are 5 slokas in glorification of Lord Ramchandra. First, his form is being described because he came as a human being with 2 hands. Then people are bound to mistake him and just like any other person. If he had 4 hands, 8 hands, then you know he's not a human being. That's why Vishnu keeps 4 hands, so that nobody messes with him. From very far, everybody can see he is God. So that is the reason keeping 4 hands. Because 2 hands, so he's like me. So therefore he speaks this, that you don't mistake Lord Ram with some other glorious human being. So yattad vishuddhanubhava matramekam svate sadhvasta gunam vyavastham pratyak prashantam sudhyopalambhanam yenam rupam niraham prapadye. I surrender to the Lord who is pure consciousness. Yattad vishuddha anubhava matram ekam. Means there is no tinge of any materialism in him. His body is not inert. It is pure consciousness. And he is ekam, he is supreme, he is only one. And swatejasa dvasta guna vyavastha. By his prowess, he keeps the material gunas away from him. And pratyak is not seen with the material eyes. Pratyak prashantam, he is very peaceful. Very, very peaceful. And sudhyopalambhanam, he is attained by intelligent people. And hiyanama rupam niraham prapadye. He is without name and form, which means his name and form are not material. In the material world, everything here has name and form, and they are all temporary. Today you can have one name, tomorrow you can change it. You have one form today, tomorrow another form. So because this is material things keep on changing. But Lord's form is not material, so it is unchanging. That is the meaning of Anagaru. And Niraham is free from the Ahankara. So he says, to him I bow down. So Sri Vishwanath, he comments, Nanu Shankha Chakradi Matva Garuda Vahanatvadyai Swaryana Avishkara Dhavtarasya Brahmatve Kechit Sanserate Tatra ye Sanserate te Sanseratam Nam Ayam tu Shakshadimam Param Brahma Rupameva Anubhavami Tyaya. So he says that, look, some people doubt that Lord Ramchandra is Lord. And the reason is that he does not hold a conch in his hand or a disc. Because he has only two hands, where can he hold? Unless he gets two wooden ones, like this Pandrak Vasudev. He went to a carpenter and got two extra hands made, and he was sticking them with a rope, and he was holding a conch. He said, I am God. And he send a message to Krishna that you are fake. So, what an audacity. So Lord Ramchandra, he does not have this insignia of Lord Vishnu. There was no Garuda in front of him. So how can he be called as an avatar? So some people doubt this. So Hanuman says, if they doubt, let them doubt. As far as I am concerned, I know him to the Supreme Brahman, Param Brahma Rupameva Anubhavami. He says, this is my experience. And with that he describes this verse, he speaks this verse. So first he says that he is Vishuddha Anubhavamatramikam, Vishuddha Maya Sambandha Sunya. That there is absolutely no tinge of Maya involved in it. That is the meaning of Vishuddha. Yo anubhavas tanmatram ekam kevalam yattadev. And that is his consciousness, awareness, absolutely free from Maya. He is one, pure. No one is equal to him or more than him. So I bow down to him. Nanu suddha jivopi evam bhavati tatra. It says, yes, living being who becomes liberated he also is like that. He is also pure consciousness. There is no tinge of Maya in him. And he is one. So what is the supremacy in him? So then he has other characteristics which are described. He says, Swatejasa dhvasta guna vyavastha. By his prowess he is kept Maya away. Swatejasa swarup shaktya duri bhuta gun vyavasthan rupa Maya saktiri yasmat. That this power called Maya is away from him because of his Swarup Shakti, because of his internal potency. Maya cannot come close to him. So that is not the case with the Jiva. And Ateva Pratyak, and therefore he is called Pratyak, Drishyadanyat. Whatever you see with your eyes, that is called Parak. And something which is beyond the senses is called Pratyak. So as there is a saying, Na chakshusha pashyati rupamasya, that his form is not seen with the eyes. Yameva aisha virunte tena labhya tasyaisha atma virunte tanumsyam. So only a person who is blessed by the Lord, he can see him, to him he reveals his form. Otherwise, he is not available. And yataha prashantam sarva upadrav rahitam. So he is called peaceful because he is free from all disturbances. Because disturbances happen only in Rajaguna, Tamaguna. So he is not having that. Nanu Sri Ramasya rupam naivam pratiyate tatra. So he says that, what are you talking? Are you trying to throw dust in our eyes or what? So nobody saw Lord Ramchandra like that. Everybody saw him with their eyes. And you are saying he is invisible to the eyes. And his pratyak is beyond sense perception. Says, how does that match with Lord Ramchandra? He was seen. So he says, Sudhyayeva punsha upalabhyate iti upalambhanam. So he says he can be known the way I am described like this only by learned people, which means by devotees, not by others. So yato nam rupam, because he does not have name and form like us. Etastisro devata anena jivena atmanam anupravishya nam rupe vyakarmana prasiddha prakrita nam rupe. So he says this name and form which are known to us, they don't exist because these name form are described in the Upanishad, that these three devatas, earth, water and fire, they are the ones which compose everything here in the material world. So these material elements are called here as devata and the deities, although they are not the deities. So that these three undergo transformation and then various objects of the material world are formed. And then Lord enters into them along with the Jiva. And then various objects are given name and form. So he says that the name of Lord Rama and his form is not like that. That is the meaning of Anama Rupam. That no name and no form. So, Shrutau Tishraiti Tejo Varimrudha Nirnishena Ham Prapadde. So he says these three which are described here, they are the water, fire and earth, which means solid, water and heat. These are the three things which manufacture everything in this world. You have some solid thing, you need some liquid and some heat to transform it. And you have various variety. So he says that I bow down to that Lord. Niraham. Ni means definitely. And he gives another meaning to the word Niraham. Aham also means I, Aham also means the ego. This means that I bow down to Lord who is beyond the ahankar. Yadva ahankar rahitam yatha syat tatha tat prapratirapi kripya teneva karita iti buddhi. All the meaning is that I bow down to him without any ego. You cannot take to devotion a proud person. You cannot serve somebody if you are proud. So devotion means service, and service is done when one is humble. So that's why Mahaprabhu said, Trinadapi Suniche, that to consider oneself as low like a blade of grass, then it is possible for one to engage in devotion. If somebody is proud, that person cannot love someone, right? To love, you have to be humble. If you are egoistic, there is no question of love. Love and pride cannot be together. So that love begins with surrender. So that's why there is not much love between people, because of their ego, because of the pride. Because now our training is to be proud. Should not bow down to anybody. Previously the training was to bow down to everybody. Now the training is not to bow down to anybody. So that's why in the society there is no love, there is no affection, because everybody is just standing straight. And two standing person cannot have love. To love, one has to drop one's ego. So therefore it says Nirham Prapadye, that surrender without ego. And it says this also happens by the grace of the Lord. Nobody can become humble by one's own effort, because ego is very powerful. Ego comes again and again, and it gets hurt. That's why people are suffering, because they get hurt with this very small thing, because they have their own ego. So this humility is the grace of the Lord. So devotion comes riding on humility. That is the carrier of bhakti. Sometimes it is called satsanga vahana, that it comes riding on the holy association. And sometimes it's said that it comes riding on humility. So that is the prayer of Hanuman to Lord Ramchandra. He has 4 more slokas that we will read tomorrow. If there is any question.
Yeah, I do have a question.
Yes, please.
You said without humility, love cannot rise.
Yes.
And the humility can only be bestowed by the grace of Lord.
Yes.
So how can you obtain that grace?
By praying.
By praying, but...
by doing service to the devotees of the Lord.
But however, whatever you do, the service or the praying, that's with one's ego. When one does it with one's ego, that service is not pure.
Yes.
And that
So
prayer is
you
not
do
pure.
it with the desire to become pure. You are not pure in the beginning. In the beginning you understand it intellectually, that I want to be pure, I want to be free from ego.
Yeah.
And then you do it, although it is impure, but your intention is pure. Okay? You are intending to become pure.
Yeah.
So then that will purify you.
But however, if you are not pure in your origin, and this you strive to be pure with this impurity, seems like you cannot really reach that.
That's what I'm
if
saying.
you're not pure yourself already.
You're intending to be pure, your intention is good.
But seems like I'm always struggling. It's like I try to pull my hair off the earth, and which cannot be succeed.
So that's why I said that you have to have the grace of the devotees of the Lord by associating with them, hearing. So that's how you get the strength for that. I said that there are two ways, humility and association of the devotees. Right?
Association.
So when you associate, then by their association you will get the strength, you will get the purity. Then you will advance.
Because recently, maybe I'm a little bit off the topic, but recently I'm coming to encounter with Bible and
Coming in contact
Bible.
with Bible.
Yeah, Christianity. And I noticed that in Christianity they go very straightforward. Okay, we are at the human level, and then there's a divine level, and we are sinned. We are sinned. We have sinned.
Sin.
Original sin, right?
Yeah, we don't accept the original sin philosophy.
But however, my point is, by accept that, seems like it's very straightforward, then you just totally give up your ego. Because without accepting that, your ego always comes up. That's my experience. Because I used to be Buddhist. I am still. I consider myself Hindu. Now I'm considering myself Christian. It's good. I accept that. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Maybe someone don't like to hear that, but so what is my point?
Your point is that when you accept original sin,
yes,
you
original
automatically
sin. Yes,
give up
because
ego.
Buddhism say that we all have human. Buddha nature. Therefore, we are all pure by origin, in origin. So I always accept that theory. But I noticed that every time I thought I already give up my ego, but ego just comes up when it's in the situation. I always think,
Let me tell
I'm
you one
better.
thing.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, when you will accept that you have original sin, ego will still come up.
Maybe works better. I don't know.
No.
I'm experiencing it.
Don't think that Christians don't have the ego.
Because you know why? Because Jesus has already sacrificed himself for us, to save us from the sin. Therefore,
So this is a hypothesis. The thing is that how can someone sacrifice for your sin? Tell me. You have your karma, right? And your karma is going to give result to you. How is that Jesus, who happened 2000 years ago, can sacrifice himself for your sin?
this is very profound, I think. What I mean is their theory seems very simple, seems very...
Yeah, but this theory is not logical. Anyone who has to think properly,
Exactly.
it doesn't work.
It works on this illogical aspect. If it's logical, that means we are still in this human intellectual level.
Yeah, but that does not mean that we have to do illogical thing.
No, it's illogical, but we can reason it out. I'm experiencing. In a practical level, I think it's very practical.
Maybe in the beginning, because you are trying to compare it with Buddhism, it is like this, but after some time you will have problem with it. You see, it's not just that in beginning you are like this, you also have to go somewhere, but this same very original sin is going to give you trouble later on.
You think so?
Yeah, because you are a sinner and you are assuming something which is not true.
I'm the sinner just to always remind me that I have my limit.
But if you have taken shelter of Jesus Christ, you are not a sinner anymore. He has already sacrificed himself for you.
Right.
Then your ego will come back now. Why should you not have your ego?
I'm not sure. I'm not at that level yet.
No, their theory is this,
Yeah.
that Jesus has sacrificed himself for the humanity's sin, right?
Right.
And you have that sin. If you accept him as your savior, then you become free from that.
But you still have the limit because.
What is the limit? This is the theory.
Limit as a human, because that
Yeah, but
level
you're
is.
free. You don't have that sin anymore.
It's just to make you aware, to be aware that that this human weakness is always there. You have to be always watchful, always be alert.
So that means he has not sacrificed himself.
That's because we are still striving to be.
So then where is the sacrifice? I mean, either you accept the theory which they are saying or you don't accept it. Now you are trying to give it a twist. So when you become free from, because your whole argument was that when I know that I have original sin, I become humble.
Yes.
But when you take shelter of, when you accept Jesus as your savior, you don't have that original sin anymore, then you become again proud. And that's what happens.
No, we are still the servant, right? We are still the servant of God.
Yeah, but why?
That's the role of being servant has never been changed.
Yeah, but you are now going against your own argument. Your whole argument was that you become humble because you think I have original sin.
Right.
So now if that cause is removed, then the effect will also be removed.
But we are on the process, we are not
And
totally...
if you have to become humble thinking like this, then you can also become humble without original sin. I mean, once your original sin is removed by taking Jesus as Savior and you still remain humble, I'm saying, okay, be humble without that. Just accept.
That can also work, I
I
think.
mean, our simple thing is that there is God and we are part of God. And God is great. He is the whole, we are servant. So we are humble because that's a fact. You don't have to unnecessarily bring some another concept of original sin. Why shall I, if Adam and Eve have problem, why shall I get the sin? I'm an individual, I'm separate from you and everybody else and you're separate, so why
But this karma theory just tells us that not everything has its reason. Therefore, that even though that's Adam and Eve's sin, it's also our sin. Because
why is it my sin? Why should it be my sin?
According to the karmic theory.
No, that is not the karmic theory. You have not understood karmic theory.
Well,
how can Adam's sin come to me?
Well,
if Adam's sin can come to me, then Jesus' piety can also come to me.
We are not separate from Adam and Eve, but we are separate from Jesus Christ.
We are separate from Adam. Why we are not separate? Adam is Adam and I am I. Why am not separate?
Because Adam and Eve are human, and Jesus Christ is not human.
But human doesn't mean that they are
the
same.
Son of God.
If you have one tomato here and another tomato here, both are tomatoes, are they one? There's two separate tomatoes.
On a human level, human nature is the same.
No.
Divine and the human, they're different,
it's
right?
also same and it's also different. Your nature is different from my nature.
Yeah, I know, but I mean...
You are an individual, I am an individual. I am hungry, you may not be hungry.
Yeah, but the human weakness is the same.
Yeah, but it's same,
we
but they are individual.
Maybe you are not hungry now, and maybe I'm hungry now, but doesn't mean that we are different. We're still the same, because we still have the hunger.
I don't know what you mean by same.
Same
Human
limitations.
Same means if you eat, I also eat.
Same means we have the same limitation. We cannot fly, we cannot...
So if we have same limitation, that itself signifies that we are different, having limitations which are same. You can sit in the same car and you are going at the same speed. That doesn't make that two people are same. They are different individual beings. They have different karma. It's because you are together in one car does not make you same. It's because Adam is a human being and I am a human being does not mean that his sin will come to me. How is that possible? Okay, we have limitation, we have weakness. I have weakness, my weakness, he has his weakness. That doesn't mean my weakness becomes his weakness or his weakness becomes my weakness. My weakness is separate from him. Weakness may be there, and in that sense we can say that we are both weak. But it doesn't mean that I lose my individuality and I get his karma just because he's weak. That doesn't make any sense. It's completely illogical. And there is no karma theory which says like that. Okay, so stop.
Thank you.